This journey is to the Silent Valley, the rainforest which gets rain for 8 months and the greenery for 365 days a year. This journey is all about the stroll through the forest and the rain, followed by the stay in a budget-friendly resort Nirvana at Attapadi. And the next day we have a short sightseeing in the Attapadi area, and we'll be back after enjoying the freshness of the river Bhavani. So that's a trip this time. So we shall begin. We have started our journey through the Mannarkkad of Attapadi route, and my plan is to reach the Silent Valley before 8 am as they begin to give the entry pass to the Silent Valley by 8 am. Silent Valley is one among the 2 hill stations in the district of Palakkad, and the other one is the Attapadi, which we have already covered in the previous stories. This is a viewpoint for those who wish to make a quick halt while passing through the guts. And at most times, this viewpoint would be filled with fog. We'll reach a small town named Mukkili after the guts, where we could see the board showing 23 kilometers to the Silent Valley. But the forest office from which we'll start our journey is just nearby. Our private vehicles are only permitted until this office, and we have to take a jeep or a van to enter into the forest. I have decided to take a small walk around to see the place where the river Bhavani flows, as I've reached here before 8. And it's a beautiful place since it's near the forest and barely visited by tourists. And this river, which originates from the Nilgiri hills of Kerala, Tamil Nadu border and merges with the river Kaveri at Erode in Tamil Nadu, has a peculiarity as it flows from the west to the east, where most other rivers in Kerala flow from the east to the west. We have reached in front of the office from where we begin our journey. So the bus is ready to take the tourists to the Silent Valley. Not taking the bus, we're taking the jeep. And there's a board clearly stating, need not come expecting animal sighting. And we have taken the ticket for safari, and it costs 2,345 rupees for one jeep, which covers the camera charges too. Maximum 5 can take a jeep, and it costs additional 200 rupees per person as the entry fees. And we are beginning a safari to the Silent Valley. For those who wish to come here, there is no online booking option available over here. We need to book the safari through a phone call. We could only get the tickets directly if any of the booked person didn't show up or if there are seats available. And it is not necessary to pay in advance for the booking through the phone call, but we just need to give the name and details. There are 2 options for the safari here. First one is by taking buses operated by the Forest Department, and the other one is by taking jeeps operated by the Ecotourism Committee. And they pay 650 rupees per person for the bus. We could take tickets from 8 am to 1 pm. This road used to be an off-road track. During the flood of 2018. This road was eroded. And now it is a 22 kilometers concrete road which leads us to the Silent Valley. It takes almost 5 hours to reach back after this safari, as we have to cover 22 kilometers one side, and there would be a trekking inside the forest as well. Generally, it is said that the name Silent Valley was given to this place because of the lack of crickets over here. But this place used to be known as Swayantari, and the British named it as Silent Valley. But the fact is that there are crickets in this region, but it is less when compared to other forests. Another feature of this journey is that we could see small streams like, on our way we could experience the rain almost every time, since it's a part of the Silent Valley rainforest. We could barely spot dry forest even if we reach here in the months of March and April. We could spot Nilgiri langur. Though the Silent Valley region is famous for the lion-tailed macaque, we couldn't spot anything. But keep in mind that don't come here expecting animal sightings. This safari is just to explore the beauty of the forest. So we have reached at the entrance to the Silent Valley, and it takes almost 1.5 hours to reach here from Mukkali, from where we started our journey. It is a spot where we could always see the fog coming down as it rains. And be careful about the leeches and king cobra. Anyways, let us enter into the woods of Silent Valley. And it's a special feel when we proceed after this entrance. Words could not express the wonder when we reach here, especially when we travel calmly through the silent forest. When we say not to expect animal sightings, don't think that this forest doesn't have any animals. There are elephants, leopards and tigers over here. And a tiger was spotted in this forest 4 months back. It is difficult to find animals from this dense forest. Even slender loris, which we could have not spotted in any other forest in Kerala, was spotted over here. And we have reached the Silent Valley. There is a forest camp office over here. Both minibuses, which came before us, were parked over there. We can spend almost 1 hour here after parking the jeep. There's a watchtower in front of us, and we could get the lovely visuals of the Silent Valley and the river Kunti from the watchtower. Now let's climb on the watchtower and we'll have a small trekking inside the forest. The watchtower was built with 3 platforms and we can climb on the watchtower as a health condition permits. So we have to reach at the top of the watchtower. It may be a little frightening for those who fear heights, but the area is safe. It's greenish everywhere. We could see leaves shedding in other forests, but we could barely spot something like that over here. That's River Kunti flowing between the mountains, which is just like the river Bhavani, originates from the Nilgiris and flows through the Silent Valley. Once it reaches Mannarkkad, it is called the Thuthupuzha and later merges with the Bharatapuzha. This biodiversity was raised to the status of national park in 1985 by the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. KSEB had a plan to build a dam across the river Kunti, but the Patrakaadavu hydroelectric project was dropped in 1984 by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi to the protests made by the environmentalists including Sugata Kumari. And if they had built a dam, most part of this biodiversity would have been underwater. There had been a hanging bridge across the river Kunti and we could go there, but the bridge was perished and it had heard that there are plans to build a new bridge. Anyways, let's go down. There is a museum near the Watchtower and a viewpoint. Let's just take a short visit there. I have never imagined that there would be such a nice infrastructure inside the forest. But what made me wonder is that this machine, which produces a sound of animals, as we press the button in front of us, but is not working so far. And there are models of a pug mark of different animals. And it's a small tea shop. We'll get tea, coffee and snacks over here. We have started a trekking after a tea. We'll take a short walk through the Silent Valley forest till the river Kunti. There's a mud road which was built for transportation during the research periods of Patrakaadavu hydroelectric project. And let's listen to the melody of the Silent Valley for a while. It was said that there had been no crickets, but now, though the number of crickets are less, we could hear the noise of crickets and frogs over here. This is a sound of river flowing at a distance. It would be better if you bring leech socks or sanitizer, since there are leeches in this rainforest. We have reached at the valley, and that is the river Kunti, and we could see the remains of the perished hanging bridge. They said there is a new bridge going to be built. We are allowed till here only since there is no bridge. Let's go back since there's nothing else to do and it's going to rain soon. It would be better if you bring an umbrella along to the silent valley. We can see the river Kunti flowing on our left. Do not think that it's already evening seeing the light, it's just 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The atmosphere is cloudy, so let's expect rain. It's a splendid rain. You could use the headphones for better experience and try to watch in 4K or full HD. And trust me, you will never be disappointed. And we are leaving the silent valley forest. We got a friendly driver named Rashid, and he explained things in detail and accompanied us for the trekking too. It's just 22-kilometer distance from Mukkuli to the silent valley, and the first of 8 kilometers from Mukkuli is the government-owned coffee, cardamom and pepper plantations, cultivated for the purpose of employment generations for the tribes. Though rarely visitors get elephants, wild boar or lion-tailed macaque sightings, we could only get sightings of Nilgiri langurs during this safari. But we are not disappointed since we came here not expecting much animal sightings, and we are living happily after enjoying the beauty of this rainforest. And we are back. Now I'm heading to Attapadi, and the Attapadi area has an entirely different kind of climate compared to the rainforest, and it is basically a dry land. Moving further, we could see a flower field on our right. It is very common to see such flower fields in most parts while traveling through Tamil Nadu, and it is very rare to see something like this in Kerala. And it is a yellow marigold field. There are workers picking flowers, and there's a silvercock comb field nearby, but I don't have any idea about its uses, and it is a kind of spinach species. This field looked so beautiful during the Onam season as the field was full of marigold. And there had been a harvest during the Onam, and the second harvest is in progress. These workers live nearby. This flower field is not famous, we just spotted it on our way. I'll give the details in the description, and I'm not certain about the flowers here every time. I visited here on the 4th of September. And we reached the resort Nirvana Holistic Living, and it's a budget-friendly resort. This resort is in Attapadi, surrounded with a beautiful mountain, and it is a peaceful and calming place. If you're coming as a big group, you can book a house as a whole, or else you can book a separate room if you're coming alone. It's a kind of modern architecture blended with the traditional styles. And as we are entering inside the house, this is a spacious standard room, and the house has 4 rooms like this. This property is best for those who wish to enjoy the vacation a little longer than for those who wish to spend a single day. We could even work from home as we have a network coverage. There's a play area and a garden for kids too. We'll have only vegetarian food as it's part of holistic living, and most vegetables are cultivated in their own fields over here. So I have planned to see the surroundings in the early morning. We couldn't just name this property merely as a resort, but there's an open stage for weddings and events. And for those who wish to conduct weddings over here can book the entire property, as it can accommodate more than 100 people and the event can be conducted in the open stage. After the breakfast, we are here for a small trip to visit some places near the river Bhavani. River Bhavani is one of the major attractions in Attapadi, and we are travelling through Attapadi-Mulli route. And this is River Bhavani, and these pebbles is the major feature of this river. Many places in this river are safer even for the children as they aren't deep, and it attracts many families as well. The Attapadi-Ooty road via Mulli was closed because there is no road for 100 meters near the Mulli checkpost. This road remains undeveloped because, as per the documents, it is a forest area and there is no permission to build a new road, and this road remains closed. And this is a road which leads us to the river. On holidays, there would be many people to catch fish from this river as it has plenty of fish. I'll mention the location in the description box, but be careful about the ditches and the depths of the river. Though it seems calm and peaceful, some places are deep enough to take good care before the dive. And most people ask me about how do I find these places. Since most of my journeys are alone, I don't think much about taking any roads which I see. And I reach these kind of unexpected and beautiful spots. And I should mention about the amazing suspension of this bike, along with the comfort it gives during the long trips. It has a great mileage too. 32 kilometers per liter was the mileage during the Kodaikanal trip. And it is a great thing to get 32 kilometers per liter for such premium bikes. But the maintenance cost would eat up all the profits. And the distance to empty feature in the display is really helpful in the long drives as it shows that accurate mileage and the distance to empty. And this is another viewpoint named Narasimhamukku. And the entry to uphill is restricted by the forest department, so we can go till this viewpoint. We could see people coming here to feed their cow or goats. Though still there are people living inside the forest in the Attapadi region, most of them lead a normal kind of life. And most people speak a blend of Malayalam and Tamil in this place, because it is a border of Tamil Nadu and the tribes have their own oral language. And this is one side of Narasimhamukku viewpoint. If we travel for half an hour, there is a rainforest, and we have an entire different climate over here. We are also heading back as it is getting dark. So this is the forest story this time. So let's once again meet with another interesting forest story. Bye bye.